So everything was going along fine. I'm thinking he's being taken care of by the white lawyer. And then they lifted the injunction against USDA in May of '87 for 2 weeks. And he was one of 13 farmers in Georgia who received the foreclosure notice. He called me. I said, well, go on and make an appointment at the lawyer. Let me know when it is, and I'll meet you there. So we met at the lawyer's office on the date they had given him. And this lawyer sat there. He had been paying this lawyer, y'all. That's what got me. He had been paying the lawyer since November, and this was May. And the lawyer sat there and looked at him and said, well, y'all getting old. Why don't you just let the farm go? I could not believe he said that. So I said to the lawyer, I told him, I can't believe you said that. I said, it's obvious to me if he cannot file a Chapter 12 bankruptcy to stop this foreclosure, you have to file an 11. And the lawyer said to me, I'll do whatever you say, whatever you think. That's the way he put it. But he's paying him. He wasn't paying me any money. You know, so he said, the lawyer said he would work on it. And then about 7 days before that land would have been sold at the courthouse steps, the farmer called me and said the lawyer wasn't doing anything. And that's when I spent time there in my office calling everybody I could think of to try to help me find a lawyer who would handle this. And finally I remembered that I had gone to see one just 40 miles away in Americas with a black farmer. But working with him made me see that it's really about those who have versus those who don't. You know, and they could be black, they could be white, they could be Hispanic. And it made me realize then that I needed to work to help poor people, those who don't have access the way others have. I want to just share something with you, and I think it helps too. You know, when I learned this, I'm like, oh my goodness. You know, back in the late 17th and 18th century, there were black indentured servants and white indentured servants. And they all would work for the 7 years and get their freedom. And they didn't see any difference in each other. Nobody worried about skin color. They married each other. You know, these were poor whites and poor blacks in the same boat. So they were slaves, but they were both slaves and both had the opportunity to work out of slavery. But then they started looking at the injustices that they faced and started then trying, you know, the people with money, you know, they started, the poor whites and poor blacks were, you know, they married each other, they lived together, they were just like we would be. And they started looking at what was happening to them and decided we need to do something about it, you know, about this. Well, the people with money, the elite, decided, hey, we need to do something here to divide them. So that's when they made black people servants for life. That's when they put laws in place forbidding them to marry each other. That's when they created the racism that we know of today. They did it to keep us divided. And it started working so well, they said, gosh, look like we've come up on something here that could last generations. And here we are, over 400 years later, and it's still working. What we have to do is get that out of our heads. There is no difference between us. The only difference is that the folks with money want to stay in power, and whether it's health care or whatever it is, they'll do what they need to do to keep that power. You know. It's always about money, y'all. You know, I haven't seen such mean-spirited people as I've seen lately over this issue of health care. Some of the racism we thought was buried, didn't it surface? Now we endure of the Bushes, and we didn't do the stuff these Republicans are doing because you have a black president. I wanted to give you that little history, especially the young people. I want you to know they created it, you know, not just for us, but we got the brunt of it because they needed to elevate whites just a little higher than us to make them think they were so much better, and then they would never work with us, you know, to try to change the situation that they were all in. But where am I going with this? You know, I couldn't say 45 years ago, I couldn't stand here and say what I'm saying, what I will say to you tonight. Like I told you, God helped me to see that it's not just about black people. It's about poor people. And I've come a long way. I knew that I couldn't live with hate. You know, as my mother has said to so many, if we had tried to live with hate in our hearts, we'd probably be dead now. But I've come to realize that we have to work together. And, you know, it's sad that we don't have a room full of white and blacks here tonight, because we have to overcome the divisions that we have. We have to get to the point where, as Toni Morrison said, race exists, but it doesn't matter. We have to work just as hard. I know it's, you know, that division is still here, but our communities are not going to thrive. You know, our children won't have the communities that they need to be able to stay in and live in and have a good life if we can't figure this out, you all.
That's right.
White people, black people, Hispanic people, we all have to do our part to make our communities a safe place, a healthy place, a good environment. You know, so that companies, why would a company want to locate in some of these places? You know, it's so sad that as I go around the state, people ask me, where are you from? Yeah, I'm living in Albany. Oh, a lot of crime there. You know, there's nothing good you can say too much about Albany anymore. And a lot of it is brought on by folks who live there, you know? People who live there. You read the paper. If you read the paper and listen to the TV station there in Albany, you wouldn't want to go there and live. You know, people are still fighting each other. Worse, I believe now, than at least it was open during the civil rights movement. It was a lick here and there. My husband got the brunt of a lot of them. But now it's really in such a way that it hurts because it's going to keep the jobs away. You know, you can go to a community and you can just about tell, and I'm traveling all around, where people work together.
Oh, yeah.
You know. You're not losing as many jobs, you're getting a few, you know. We have a beautiful country. We have a beautiful part of this state, the southern part of the state, but it's not thriving. And we need to figure out why. Well, we kind of know, but we need to work on why. And young folks, you know, when I was growing up, you had to get home from school and go to the fields. But y'all don't have to do that no more. You should be excelling, you know. Parents, you gotta set some goals for your children.
Amen.
You know, you cannot allow them not to try to become the best they can be, and not studying certainly won't get you there. You know, y'all must love working in the chicken house.
They close.
I know they closed the one here.